Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the biggest nose, JC Courtside, coming at y'all today on Tuesday, April 21st. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to just say, first and foremost, this haircut was free, so please do not insult me. I've already gotten enough from the Twitch chat prior to this podcast starting. If you can just, avert your eyes elsewhere other than right here, I would mighty appreciate it. Podcast listeners, welcome on in, everybody. I hope everyone's doing absolutely phenomenal. I hope your basketball team won last night, unless you're a Knicks fan. Sorry, Knickerbockers, I apologize. But we got to talk about it. We got to talk about the Timberwolves. We got to talk about the Timberwolves Nuggets, and we also got to talk about the 2B series, Cavaliers and Raptors. We're going to finish the podcast off with that because we're just not going to start off with that, ladies and gentlemen. We have to first and foremost talk about the Atlanta Hawks defeating the New York Knicks. But before we do that, podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. It helps more than y'all could possibly understand. As well as you guys are on YouTube, be sure to drop some likes, subscribe, follow, all that jazz. And Twitch chat, you guys know you already got the easiest job in the whole entire world. All you got to do is sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, an energy drink, and enjoy the show. And for the record, before we get into this, guys, I have caught a lot of flack for being a Pistons fan these last 2 days, and it's completely warranted. It's completely warranted. I don't know how many comments I've got about insulting the Pistons. It happens, bro. I don't play for the team. You're not insulting me. You're insulting the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate the constructive criticism, and I hope the Pistons see all those comments as well so they can actually lock in and pretend to be a first seed. Speaking of a top seed, one lost last night. In fact, two of them lost last night. And up first, we are going to be talking about the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks upsetting everybody in Madison Square Garden last night, led by CJ McCollum, who they traded for at the trade deadline for Corey Kispert and Trae Young. They traded Trae Young for Corey Kispert and CJ McCollum, and they're both getting playoff minutes for the Atlanta Hawks, man. The Hawks won 107-106, and honestly, CJ McCollum, obviously they wouldn't have won this game without him, but he almost sold at the end of the game as well, missing those two clutch free throws, which almost decided the game. It gave Mikal Bridges a chance at the end of the game for a leaning step back mid-range shot, and that's Mikal Bridges' signature shot. Never goes in, but it is a signature shot. Mikal Bridges had a chance. He had a chance. But they, unfortunately, for Knicks fans, lost the game. And I don't think there's a single Knicks fan in this world. When they saw Mikal Bridges going for that shot, I don't think a singular Knicks fan in the world thought that shot was going in. If you did, you're lying to yourself, because nobody in this world would have thought that Mikal Bridges would actually hit that shot. So I think seeing Mikal Bridges at least go for that, I think at least you knew it's not like, damn, we could have had that game. Like, yeah, y'all could have had that game 10 minutes prior to that, because in case you guys don't know, the Knicks were leading for the majority of this game. In fact, the Knicks were up by 12 points entering the fourth quarter, and I saw this very interesting post by ESPN. The Knicks led by 12 entering the fourth quarter. This ties the biggest fourth quarter blown lead in franchise playoff history. The only other time, Game 5 of the 1994 Eastern Conference Finals, when Reggie Miller hit the iconic choke sign. So that right there, that's a loss. That's a loss. And one of my Twitch chat members asked me before the podcast began. He said, and I hate this comment, but he asked me, do you think that the Hawks won this game or the Knicks lost this game? And, one of my Twitch viewers, Solo, actually answered that perfectly for me. When you bring Brunson on the top of a pick and roll action every time, you won that game. When you show the world on the big stage that Jalen Brunson is not one of the worst defenders in the NBA, he is the worst defender in the NBA. And people think that it does, it trades off with offense, and most of the times it does. But last night, unfortunately, it was not enough. Jalen Brunson had 29 points on not efficient shooting for Jalen Brunson. He's usually a very efficient player. But he shot 10 for 26 last night. And one person I think that honestly deserves some of the blame for not getting the ball is Mike Brown. I hate seeing Karl Anthony Towns so dominant in the first half. So so strong and aggressive and give me the ball and I'm going to score. And yet they didn't go to him at all in the third or fourth quarter. They didn't go to him at all. He finished with 18 points, 8 rebounds. He went 8 for 12 from the field, and nobody thought, hey, maybe let's give it to Karl-Anthony Towns. Nobody thought that. Not one person thought, let's give it to Cat and let him cook, because he wasn't touching the ball in the second half. The Hawks scored 28 points in the fourth quarter to 15. The New York Knicks scored 15 points in a quarter, in the fourth quarter, in the final quarter of the game. And you know what? CJ McCollum gets a lot of the praise. He scored 32 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. He was a +9, and he shot 12 for 22 from the field, only 3 for 10 from deep. And I got to shout out who I think genuinely shifted this game. The cum bucket, baby. The cum bucket. Jonathan Kuminga, 19 points. He was 7 for 10 from the field, and he went ballistic in the second half. He was driving. He was pulling up. He was catching, shooting. He did his thing. Bro, the Hawks played Tony Bradley 12 minutes in the game, and they won. Tony Bradley. Shout out the Pacer legend, Tony Bradley. Mo Gay got hurt in this game. Jock Landale got hurt by Goga Bitadze of the Orlando Magic, and he's missing the entire playoffs unless they make like the second round. But Tony Bradley played 12 minutes, and they still somehow managed to win this game by their defense. And you know, I got to say something that's very important. And I think Knicks fans will be like, damn, you know what? I didn't realize that. Or maybe they did. This game, even when the Hawks were losing by double digits, it didn't look like New York Knicks basketball, even when the Knicks were winning. And the main reason being is the game was fast-paced. The Hawks, I believe, are a top 5 team in pace in the NBA. The Knicks are a bottom 4 team in pace. They are the 26th team in pace. And the Hawks were running. The Hawks wanted this game to be fast. The Hawks forced this game to be fast. If you're not back, we're running. We're going to the hoop. If you're not back, we're going to target you. And the Hawks were speeding this game up when the Knicks can't speed up. The Knicks need to play in slow half-court offense. And I think that was the biggest difference maker last night. Yes, CJ McCollum went crazy. Yes, the cum bucket was clutch in this game. But overall, even when the Hawks were losing, the pace of this game did not feel like a New York Knicks game. The Hawks dominated the pace and flow of this game. And I think the biggest issue with the Knicks crept its ugly head last night. The inconsistency. Lazy passes. Lazy turnovers. They were just giving them the ball in multiple scenarios. They had 14 turnovers. And at the end of this game, it just turned into one thing and one thing only. And Knicks fans, I know you guys agree with me. There's no way you don't. Brunson hero ball. Brunson save us. Brunson save us. When you literally have Karl-Anthony Towns shooting 8 for 12 and you're not giving him the ball. It does not make any sense whatsoever why we're not getting our other players involved. Mikal Bridges 3 for 10. OG Anunoby 4 for 9. Josh Hart 5 for 11. He was 1 for 5 from deep. Karl-Anthony Towns was 8 for 12 from the field. You have a 7-footer that is probably and I'm gonna say this and I'm not going to hesitate, the biggest threat from three-point land in NBA history. Am I lying when I say that? The biggest threat, the biggest 7-foot threat from deep in NBA history. Who's the other guy? Dirk? I can't think of another one that can truly shoot as well as Cat can from deep. Cat is that good, and yet we're not giving him the ball in the second half. Why does Karl-Anthony Towns not touch the ball in the second half? Instead, no. The guy who's at that point in time 3 for 9 is going for the game-winning shot. You know, TikTok, you guys are getting really aggravated by that comment. People are saying KD's not listed 7 foot. So, yeah, I mean, I agree. Jokic, yeah, he's okay from 3. Wemby, no, not yet. And now my Twitch stream is saying Miles Turner. Got it. Okay. So, yeah, I think this is a great statistic as well. That Papo just posted in my Twitch stream. If you guys do want to talk with me and you guys want every message read, be sure to come through to the Twitch stream. The link is in my bio, Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. That's where we read all of our comments. Papo said Brunson is 11 for 37 since the first quarter of game 1. He's 11 for 37 since the fourth quarter of game 1. And game 1, he had 19 points in the first quarter. So that's actually crazy. That's actually insane. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's wow. And you know what? I genuinely do feel bad for Karl Anthony Towns. He doesn't know his role. He doesn't know his role. And in my opinion, Mike Brown being the head coach, you have to understand the kind of level of player that you have in Karl Anthony Towns. You have to understand the fact that we are not letting him touch the ball in the second half when he has the best matchup in this series is asinine to me. It's truly asinine. Like, how are we not taking advantage of our 7-foot demon that we have on our team? I know Cat's soft. I know Cat is lazy sometimes. I know Cat always turns the ball over and gets offensive fouls. I know all of this. This is not new. But the way bro, I watched Karl Anthony Towns single-handedly beat the Pistons in the 6-round series last year. Brunson carried them for the first, I guess, no. Karl Anthony Towns carried them for like the first 3 quarters, and then Brunson would just finish the Pistons. Oh my God, somebody in the TikTok got really upset by me laughing at Miles Turner. This guy said Miles Turner led the league twice in threes made for a big. You don't know ball. Brother, you have a Fiverr profile picture with an eagle wearing a crown. Stick to Call of Duty, bro. What are we talking? You talking about Miles Turner? Do you know what Miles Turner is doing now? Do you know what Miles Turner? I can't believe we're talking about Miles Turner in April, but let's go ahead and look up Miles Turner now. Do you know he's shooting 38% from deep, 44% as a center. He is 6'11", shooting 44% from the field as a center. I need to repeat myself one more. He's shooting 44% as a center. He's 6'11". And we're defending Miles Turner in April of 2026. Let's calm it down there, buddy. Let's calm it down. And then we got to talk about the Hawks again. Yeah, Andy can't rebound, right? We got to talk about the Hawks again, bro. Yeah, because I'm not done yet. We got to talk about the Hawks. We have to. I saw everybody tweeting about Jalen Johnson in the first half of this game, saying Jalen Johnson isn't the truth. Jalen Johnson isn't that. We knew he'd crumble in the playoffs. And I do have to say, and I hope everybody agrees, Jalen Johnson has been disappointing in the playoffs so far. It's only 2 games. So I'm not tripping about this. He has been very disappointing so far in the playoffs. He's been so disappointed in the fact that they have Josh Hart guarding him. If you're telling me Jalen Johnson with Josh Hart guarding you can't be aggressive, that's disappointing. Because there were signs maybe a couple weeks before the playoffs that he wasn't going to last into the playoffs. And yeah, it is looking like it, but I'm also not going to trip about this because it's his first playoffs and he's a number 1 option, which we know. We knew he was going to be like this. So I'm not going to worry about it, but I am going to say I think he's only going to get better as this series progresses. So that's why I'm not worried about Jalen Johnson. He's going to get his 3-point shot. He's going to gain confidence. The lights are bright and he's playing in one of the loudest arenas in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to be worried about Jalen Johnson. Another guy I got to talk about is Nickeil Alexander-Walker. The reason why I say the Hawks won this game is because they didn't have a good game. They didn't. Nickeil Alexander-Walker finished with 9 points, and he was 3 for 12 from the field, and yet they won. They won. So on top of all of this, watching this game was incredible. If you guys haven't watched this game, I highly recommend you guys go to their YouTube channel or NBA app and watch this game. I'd like to give a special shout out to Mason for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you very, very much. Shout out to you, Mason, for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch. Much love. Let's see what he just said in the Twitch stream. Mason came into the Twitch and said, no reason Bridges should have the ball in that moment. And why no timeout? I have so many questions. Okay, so that's another thing that we have to talk about. The NBA, this is the second mistake that they've made where it shows that they have a timeout in the score bug, but they don't. So in case you guys forgot, it was, what game was it? Chat, remind me, it was night 1. They showed some team having a timeout on Amazon Prime, but they didn't have a timeout. Can you guys remind me? I forgot what game that was. Was it Heat Hornets? Yeah, it was Heat Hornets. You're right. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate it very much. It was Heat Hornets where they showed the Heat had a timeout on the score bug. And they did the same thing here. And in fact, the commentator, who was it? It was Noah Eagle last night, right? Even he said, he was like, I'm not sure if they have a timeout because they're showing that they have a timeout on the score bug. I don't understand why that keeps happening, but they got to lock in a little bit because it was Peacock making the mistake last night, and a few nights ago, it was Amazon Prime making the mistake. Yeah, it was Jamal Crawford, right? So I don't know. It was weird, but all in all, Mikal Bridges, I'm not going to blame him for shooting that shot at the end of the game. I'm not going to blame him. It's not his fault. That's not the kind of player he is. It shouldn't have come down to that. The Knicks sold that lead. They were up by 14. They were up by 12 going into the fourth quarter. I'm not going to blame Mikal Bridges. We all know the kind of player that Mikal Bridges is. I don't think anybody expected that he was going to hit that shot. That's just not his shot. On top of all of that, I do have to reiterate this. Now that we're on the topic of Mikal Bridges, I just have to say, Knicks fans, I have one question for y'all because I know the Knicks fans in my Twitch stream, but I got to hear from everybody. I got to know if this is just a me thing or it's like all of us. As a Pistons fan, so I have no biases here, watching Mikal Bridges infuriates me more than any other player in the NBA. I'm talking purely offensively. I understand he has an Iron Man streak, but why is it that every single shot you take is a leaning fadeaway shot? Why? Why do we stray away from contact every single time? Is it just to keep that streak going? Please help me understand. Does it infuriate you Knicks fans? Does it scare any of you? Does it piss you, any of you Knicks fans off? Does it piss all of our general NBA fans off? When you guys watch his game and you see his shot diet. Thank you. Okay, so my Pelicans fan in my Twitch stream, yes, they are real. He said, Mikal's shot diet makes me want to run into a wall, and everyone talks him up because he's an Iron Man. My Knicks fan said he should have drove to the basket for the last shot. He had the angle. Mikal and Cat in 2027 first round for Giannis. It's so bad. That's a Heat fan saying that. He'll have a layup, then fade away. It's gross. Yeah, and it's annoying. I feel like he does it because he's scared of contact. And it honestly aggravates the hell out of me. It aggravates the hell out of me. So I would like to just make a note as well for everybody that's watching and listening. If you guys do say a topic that, like, I'm being asked about the Pistons right now. Unfortunately, I'm not talking about the Pistons today. We did talk about them yesterday. If you guys do have like a conversation point like that, save it for after the show in the Twitch stream. Because I got to stay on topic with this. So I don't want you to think that I'm ignoring you. I'm reading every single message that's sent in my Twitch stream. It's just, I have to stay on topic with these shows. That's just how they go. Because I record these and I upload them onto Spotify, Apple, and our podcast YouTube channel, exclamation point podcast in the Twitch stream. Liddy, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you very, very much. Shout out to all the goats that are leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate y'all very much. And I got to talk about it real quick. Mitchell Robinson was great. He did what Mitchell Robinson always does. He was 6 for 6, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 4 of them offensive. Deuce McBride has forgot how to play basketball. He's not looking good. And honestly, I don't even think it's all his fault. Mike Brown is running him at point guard off the bench. What are we doing? Did we give up on GTA 5 that quickly? I know he hasn't been good, but I can't believe we're running Deuce McBride at point. That's not the kind of guy he is. Landry Shamet might see all of his minutes disappear, which is not good for the Knicks. He was prolific for them in the regular season. His minutes are starting to dwindle more and more and more, and Jordan Clarkson is low-key stealing all of their minutes combined. So the Knicks bench is picking the worst time to be less than mediocre, and that's not good. That's not good at all. So all in all, I think the Hawks, they didn't even have a good game, and yet they still managed to steal this win. This is huge, and I'd like to remind everybody in the series against the Pistons last year with the Knicks, they lost game 2 at home as well. So I wouldn't panic if I was a Knicks fan. I think Knicks fans knew this series would probably go to 6. Just because of how inconsistent the New York Knicks are. As long as the Knicks can get all of this inconsistency out of their system in the first round, I think that's good. If they can get their losses now, I think it's better now than later when they got to verse Boston next round and possibly, at this point, the Magic. I don't know, man. The Magic or Cavs? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be the Pistons, bro. I just don't know. Mason asked in the Twitch stream, how do you think it's going to go in Atlanta? Will they split or what? Yeah, I think they'll split. I think Atlanta will get a game. And honestly, that's one of the buildings I'm super excited for. Atlanta's starving, man. Atlanta's starving for a playoff series. So I think the Hawks, I think they'll get them a win in Atlanta. I think this is going to be a really fun series, man. I really, really do. I think it's going to be awesome. Now, before we move on to our next game, I do want to just shout out Victor Wembanyama, his first of many undisputed, unanimous Defensive Player of the Year award. Shout out Wemby. He deserved it. I would like to say Asar Thompson finishing top 3. You know, I knew as soon as I saw the top 3, I knew he was going to be third. So that's awesome. And I would like to say real quick, for the person that voted Jalen Duren, whoever voted for Jalen Duren for Defensive Player of the Year, I would like to say, let's find that person who voted Jalen Duren. Let's find that person and interrogate them and ask them, have you watched basketball this season? Have you watched basketball? The person that voted for Jalen Duren for DPOI, have you watched any basketball this year? Genuinely. Because as somebody who has watched all 83 of the Pistons games this year, there's not one game where I said, damn, Duren's locking shit up. Duren doesn't play defense. That's one of the many reasons why he wasn't extended in the first place. Is it because he's sexy? Maybe. But I don't know. He did not deserve a vote. He did not deserve a vote. I don't know who the hell voted for him. Lydia and Mason, thank you guys again so much for coming through to the Twitch stream. Leek, thank you for the resub on Twitch, brother. I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you. And again, TikTok, if you guys want your comments read or you guys want to talk to me and ask me questions and hang out with us, be sure to come through to the Twitch stream and be sure to join the Discord as well, guys. That's where my community is hanging out all the time. That's our basketball Discord. All right. Now, the most entertaining game last night, honestly, there were some good games last night. We got to talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets and how the Wolves just absolutely clamped Jokic and Murray. I think the most important stat on this night, actually, I'll read this quote from Jaden McDaniels after the win. Jaden McDaniels on how the Timberwolves pulled off a Game 2 win. He said, and I quote, "We went right at Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, all their bad defenders, Hardaway, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, their whole team." So then Christopher Hine followed up asking, "They're all bad defenders?" And Jaden McDaniels said, "Yes, they are all bad defenders." I love this shit. I love this. I love this. You guys have no idea how much I love this. This is what I love about the NBA. If you guys, I recommend watching that clip. Watch that clip of him saying that. He was mean when he was saying that shit. Like, I'm talking, he was mean mugging that camera saying that. And you know what? He's right. He's right. Hardaway's a horrible defender. Cam Johnson is mediocre. Aaron Gordon, he's, after all these injuries, he's also mediocre. Jamal Murray, mediocre. And we all know Jokic, the worst defending center in the entire NBA. Jaden McDaniels is not lying here, man. He's not lying. Their team is not good defensively. They're a bottom 10 team defensively in the entire NBA. Bottom 10. So he's not lying when he says that. They're a bottom 10 defense in the entire NBA. So let's go ahead and go over my favorite stat from last night. Not like my favorite, like I enjoy it, but the most important one from last night. Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray in just the fourth quarter. Between the two of them, they scored 4 points. They shot 2 for 12, and they were 0 for 4 from 3. This is bad, chat. This is a complete 180 from what I was saying 2 days ago. No, yesterday about this series. This is a complete 180, chat. Because just watching this game back and watching, I'm talking the non-condensed highlights. The non-condensed highlights. I'm talking about the full highlights, makes and misses. I highly recommend y'all watch this. Rudy Gobert, I've been defending him his entire career. Even in the years that, you know, he might have been the reason. I've been defending Rudy Gobert for years, man. And I'm so happy to say, I hope one day, I hope Rudy Gobert can get a championship at some point so that 10, 15, 20 years down the line, we can look back and say, man, Rudy Gobert was something special, huh? And, you know, Rudy Gobert, I was thinking about this at the gym this morning because I saw a commercial on the TV about pizza. And I said, man, Rudy Gobert is a lot like Little Caesars. He's really good when you don't have some bitch in your ear yelling that he's not. Rudy Gobert is good, man. Rudy Gobert is a good player. Little Caesars is a good pizza. It's a decent pizza. If for I think it's like $6 now, but in Detroit, it's a decent pizza. I'm not gonna lie. I'm from Detroit. It's decent. I love Rudy Gobert. And to see what he did last night, see, this is what I love. Somebody in the TikTok named Caden with a Yu-Gi-Oh profile picture said 28 minutes, 2 points, he's garbage. You did not watch this basketball game because without Rudy Gobert, I guarantee you, I will put my life, my fiance's life, my son's life, I'm talking my dog, and my entire chat's life. Without Rudy Gobert, they're getting smoked by 20 points. Because Rudy Gobert, what he did to Nikola Jokic all last night, what he did to Jamal Murray, yeah. Let me just show you this one statistic. Nikola Jokic in game 2, with Rudy Gobert on the floor, he shot 1 for 8 and had 4 points. With Rudy Gobert off the floor, Jokic dropped 20 points on 7 for 10 shooting. So when I said week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, Rudy Gobert is the most important player to this Timberwolves team. He is. He is. Talking about Rudy Gobert only having 2 points. Doesn't need any more. He does not need any more. He is the most crucial component to the Timberwolves. I said that in the first month, second month, third month, fourth month, and I'm saying it again now. Anthony Edwards dropped 30 on a non-efficient night. He shot one shot better than Jalen Brunson, 10 for 25, 3 for 11 from 3. He had a horrible game. He's still hurt. He's still hurt, and he's still dropping 30. And you know what? I got to say this because Julius Randle, you did your thing, bro. 24 points, 7 for 14 shooting. Okay, I have so many points I have to make about this game, so bear with me, y'all. I apologize that I'm getting a little messy. I have so many points I got to talk about. Speaking of which, KD, did you just make a new account? Thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you very, very much. TikTok, if you guys are enjoying today's show, you would enjoy the Twitch stream so much more. If you come through to the Twitch and watch 3 streams in a row, I will personally gift you a $5 subscription. All right, so that means you get no ads for 1 month. All you got to do is go to the Twitch. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Link in my bio and watch 3 Twitch streams in a row. That's it. I have so many points I got to talk about this game, man. Julius Randle, you know when he's at his best, and Knicks fans, I'm sure you guys remember this. The reason why I'm telling Knicks, because obviously Randle was there for his formative years. Timberwolves fans, I know y'all will agree with me. When Julius Randle isn't backing down and dribbling the air out of the ball, he's at his best. When Julius Randle decides, when he decides what he's going to do with the ball before he catches the ball, that's when Julius Randle is at his best. When he catches the ball, does a hezzy and drives to the hoop, that's when he's at his best. When he catches the ball, hezzy and shoots, that's when he's at his best. When Julius Randle gets the ball, thinks for a second, does 1 pivot, 2 pivot, back to the basket, and 13 or 14 dribbles later, it's a bad shot or a last second shot by somebody else. He is quite literally the taller Jalen Brunson. He ISOs for 20 to 22 seconds, and it's going to be a bad shot at the end of the possession. When he doesn't do that, he's at his best. When he catches the ball and knows what he's going to do with it immediately, he is incredible, and that's what he did last night. Shot 50%, 24 points. I'd like to give a massive shout out to Jaden McDaniels. He was the energy guy last night from the starting lineup. You always need that. And Dante DiVincenzo, bro. Dante DiVincenzo, man. If this guy was still on the Knicks, I honestly have the Knicks like being undisputed. Bro, it's so sad. It's so sad that they had to trade Dante, bro. It's so sad. I think all Knicks fans would agree they'd rather have Dante over Mikal 10 times out of 10. Dante's incredible. The energy he brings to that starting lineup is incredible. He will do it again. He will do it again. He only had 16.6 for 9 shooting, but what he did best was his energy he brought onto the court. On top of that, I haven't even talked about the bench yet, man. I haven't even talked about the bench. Chat. This is going to be a game that I low-key remember for years to come. So I highly recommend you guys go watch this game. I'm serious. Please, I know you guys like watching me talk about these games. You need to watch this game back. You need to, because you can feel the energy through the damn screen. Lack City, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for joining in the conversation. Be sure to join the Discord as well. Ayo Dosunmu, Bones Highland. What these two did in the second half was a thing of beauty. It was a thing of beauty. I'm pretty confident the Nuggets were down, or sorry, they were up 19. Yeah, they were up 19. I knew Ayo Dosunmu was going to be the X factor of this team. He's so damn fast, bro. People talk about Tyrese Maxey, how fast he is. Bro, Ayo Dosunmu is Tyrese Maxey's speed, but the strength of, dare I say, Rodney Stuckey or Tony Allen. Am I crazy? He is Tyrese Maxey's build, his speed, but his strength is like Rodney Stuckey, Tony Allen, bro. This guy is unbelievable. His motor is ridiculous. Ayo Dosunmu was incredible last night. Hit a big three at the end of the game. Big lane, bro. He was taking Jokic to the, oh my God, he was just dumping layup after layup after layup on Jokic. And Bones, bro. Bones Highland. I literally said yesterday, you live by Bones or you die by Bones. And last night, they lived by Bones. He came in 13 points in 10 minutes off the bench, exerted energy, hit 3 threes, hit a crazy lay. Bones Highland went crazy, and I love to see this, man. I think Bones is going to get a contract. I think he's going to be in the NBA for quite some time, I hope. And Ayo, we know how good Ayo is. Every team wanted Ayo, and the Timberwolves ended up getting him, and he was an excellent pickup for them. And I got to talk about Naz Reid. I've been disrespecting Naz Reid for the last couple months because he's like, you know what? I'm about to insult myself. He's like me. Sorry, I'm like him. I'm tall, and I like just shooting, bro. I just like shooting. I just like staying by that three-point line, getting off-ball screens and just stroking that thing, right? I love that. I love that. That's what I do, and that's what Naz does. But Naz, brother, you are 7 foot. Take it to the hole. You know what he did last night? He hit 1 3, and he took it to the hole for his other 8 points. And that's when Naz Reid's at his best. If he's just standing out here, waiting for the ball, if he's just standing out there, he's only going to provide spacing. If he's driving, if he's cutting, backdoor cuts, he's opening this court for everybody else on this team. He did incredible. He did incredible last night. Shout out Naz Reid, shout out Ayo, shout out Bones Highland. Their bench was awesome. Even Kyle Anderson, 5 minutes, he had 2 assists and a steal. He didn't score, but even he did well. Even Mike Conley, who played 4 minutes, had 2 killer assists. The Wolves played so well last night. My only concern is, can they do it again? Now, Wolves fans, I'd like to rebuttal that. The Nuggets defense isn't going to get any better. It's not going to get any better. This has been their defense all year long. And if they continue attacking Jokic like that, why can't they? Why can't they win again? I love that exclamation mark dunk that Dante did to end this game. In case you guys don't know, the Nuggets were down 3. And Jamal Murray ISO'd, and he ended up taking a step back. Kevin Garnett famous, the deepest mid-range shot you can take. And he bricked it. He took it over Rudy Gobert, and it was not good. It was not a good shot. It was not a good shot whatsoever. I think this series is going to be incredible. I'm really excited for the rest of it. The Wolves looked alive last night, and you know what? The Wolves looked like the Wolves of the past. They target the weakest defenders on the court, and lucky for them, there's a lot of weak defenders on the Nuggets. This is very concerning if the Nuggets can't get Peyton Watson back, because without him, they have no answer for Anthony Edwards. Even when he's hurt, they have no answer. They have no answer whatsoever. I'm really concerned about what the Nuggets can do defensively against any team in the NBA. And what's interesting most is that Jokic and Murray were complete non-factors in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. I just showed you guys the stat. They were, and I quote, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, they were 2 for 12 from the field in the fourth and 0 for 4 from deep. It was not a good game. It was not a good game from them. The only thing that we got that I think was like legendary from the Nuggets was this from Tim Hardaway Jr. I don't know, bro. I don't know what this was, but this GIF, whatever y'all want to call about it, this is going to live on for a long, long time. This is iconic. I thought this shit was sped up. It wasn't. Tim Hardaway was just that hype. He was. All right. Before we get into our final game that we got to break down, and I see some people ask me how many games do I think this is going to go. I think it's going to go 6 or 7. I don't know. I don't know. There's no in between. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's going to go 6 or 7. Before we move on to our final game from last night, I would like to say, TikTok, I am going to be ending your stream. So if you guys want more, I'm talking to you, Dylan. I'm talking to you, Dom. Be sure to come through to the Twitch stream, guys. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The episode is not done yet. We still have about 15 to 20 minutes left to talk about. All right. So TikTok, I'm ending that stream. If you guys want more, be sure to go to the Twitch stream. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. We are still continuing this episode. Now, for my podcast listeners, the only reason I'm doing that is I'm resetting the algorithm. I'm trying to bait some more people to come from the TikTok to the Twitch. You guys know the drill. Appreciate everybody being here, man. Really means a lot. Let's go ahead and move on to our final game from last night. All right. Huara, thank you so much for the follow. Be sure to join the Discord, homie. I appreciate you a lot. Let's go ahead and move on to our final game of the night. The Toronto Raptors and the Cleveland Cavaliers, or what I'm calling it, the 2B series. The 2B series. Final score 115 to 105, man. What can I say about this? What can I say, chat? What can I say? What can I say? What can I say, man? What can I say? What can I say? This tweet speaks volumes. That's why I called it that. They need to put the rest of this Cavs versus Raptors series on Tubi, because this is the level of disappointment that we're getting right now, man. This is the level of disappointment that we're getting right now. And I hate to say it. I really hate to say it. The Cavs are really good, bro. The Cavs are really good. They're fooling me again. I know they are. I know they're fooling me. James Harden, I know he's fooling me, but he's playing well, man. He's getting me again, bro. He's playing well. I don't know, man. All I got to say is the Raptors have no answer. The Raptors have no answer, bro. The Cavs are just attacking the paint. The Cavs are not a good paint scoring team, and yet against the Raptors, they are. Bahumbong and Huarchez, I appreciate the follows on Twitch, guys. Thank you so much. We've already talked about all those series, but be sure to come through to or join the Discord if you guys are in the Twitch stream. That's Jay-Z Uncut. Yeah, join the Discord. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Just join the Discord. Exclamation point Discord in the chat. We've already talked about those games. Okay. Yeah, we just got to talk about it right now. We got to talk about it right away. James Harden was cooking early on. He was cooking very early on, and he cooked throughout the entire game. That floater is automatic. That floater that he's got is automatic. And the Raptors just don't have any answer for Evan Mobley or Jared Allen. They have no answer. I'm watching Evan Mobley look like prime Shaq right now. He's not missing. He was 11 for 13 last night. I think he made his first 9 shots. He's not missing. He's getting dunk after dunk after hook after hook after layup after layup after dunk after dunk. It's over and over and over again. And the reason why James Harden is getting these floaters that are automatic as well is because in that Jared Allen pick and roll, it's pick your poison. It's, do we give Jared Allen a dunk or do we give James Harden that floater? And James Harden's mastered that floater. He's straight up mastered it. Bro, James Harden had 28 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 steals, 5 turnovers as well, but he was 9 for 14 from the field. He had a crazy push-off that wasn't called either. Donovan Mitchell, 30 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. He had a good game too, and he didn't shoot that. I mean, he was 4 for 10 from deep. This is crazy. Jared Allen, 10 points. Evan Mobley had 25 points, bro. If you are giving up 25 points to Evan Mobley in any game against the Cavaliers, just know you lost that game. We can all agree on that because you're going to get the points from Donovan Mitchell. You're going to get the points from James Harden sometimes. But my issue is that if you're giving Evan Mobley 25 points, you don't stand a damn chance, bro. You don't stand a damn there's just no way you can win if you're giving Evan Mobley that many points. And it's unfortunate because they have nobody to guard him. Jakob Poeltl's getting killed this series. 9 minutes last night. Did Jakob Poeltl get hurt last night? 9 minutes. He's getting killed. They're bringing in Sandro Mamukelashvili. Love saying his name. Sandro Mamukelashvili. And they're playing him at center. Colin Murray Boyles, they're playing him at center. It's not, they don't have enough. They don't have enough. They don't have enough at all. They're locking up Brandon Ingram. He had 0 points in the first half. He shot 3 for 15, bro. Brandon Ingram, I was told by a couple very confident Raptors fans a couple of weeks ago, not my favorite Raptors fan, Kai. I was being told that Brandon Ingram's the playoff riser. He's a playoff riser. No, he's not, man. He hasn't had a good playoff game in 6 years. He hasn't. RJ Barrett has been their best player in these playoffs so far. 10 for 13 from the field, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Scotty Barnes being the leader is not working right now either. It's not working. Scotty Barnes, I'm sorry, is not a leader. He's not a number one. He's not. 26 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. He's playing. He's doing what he can, but he's not going to lead this team to wins. Jamal Shead, after a good game one, had a horrible game two. 3 points, 1 for 5. Jacoby Walter played really well. Honestly, one of the best Jacoby Walter games I've watched. 14 points, 5 for 9 shooting. Colin Murray Boyles had a great game, 17 points. He's going to have a bright future. He's going to have a very bright future. Even Sandro Mamukelashvili had 12 points in 21 minutes. He was a +7. Brandon Ingram is not a playoff riser. In fact, he's quite the opposite. Brandon Ingram is not a good player in the playoffs. He's just not. Like, he's so easy to game plan against, and it's so disappointing seeing this Toronto Raptors team make the playoffs and do this. Like, it's so weird because if you guys remember, the Raptors started off horrible this year. I believe they started like 0-3 or 0-4, and they had like the worst defense in the NBA. Their defense stepped up and they started playing well, right? And then Brandon Ingram started to get consistent. But we all know what happened. We all know his game. We all know his game. He wants to get to the high elbow and pull up a mid-range. That's what he does. That's what he excels at. And if you just cram that paint, which is what the Cavaliers did last night, and they still gave up a lot of points in the paint because that's what the Toronto Raptors do, it's just not going to work, man. It's not. If Brandon Ingram doesn't have the ball in his hands, he's absolutely useless on the offensive side of the court. If he doesn't have the ball in his hands, he's absolutely useless. And when he does have the ball in his hands and it's not leading to buckets, what is Brandon Ingram bringing you? Silence, right? Because he's not bringing you anything. The Cavs aren't playing great defense. They're just playing smart defense. And if you play smart defense against a mediocre team, sometimes that's all it takes. Like, for example, I saw the Denver Nuggets last night play zone for the majority of the game. They were playing a zone, and they were daring the Timberwolves to shoot threes, and they were. They were. The Nuggets are playing zone because they have no defense. They have to resort to something because everybody's slow, everybody's banged up. Some guys just don't play defense. The Toronto Raptors are doing whatever they can, and their defense is not quite working to their caliber. They're not big. They're too small. Evan Mobley looks like Shaq. Jared Allen looks like Shaq. That's why people are saying just put this series on Tubi, because nobody wants to watch this. And it's unfortunate. It's truly unfortunate because the Raptors had so much upside going into the season, and to see them underperform, it makes me upset. It really does. And one thing I will say to credit the Cavs, they're playing good basketball. They're playing the basketball that they needed to play. And it's somewhat giving me a false confidence, y'all. It's giving me a false confidence, bro. The Cavs are nice, man. The Cavs are nice. Can we also make a rule? Can we make a rule, everybody? I'm talking to Celtics. I'm talking to the Cavs. Can we make a rule? You're only allowed 2 white guys on your basketball team, bro. You're only allowed 2. Having Dean Wade, Max Strus, and Sam Merrill, it's just not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. Like, you can't have that many white guys who can shoot threes. It's just not fair. Let's implement a rule, because there's no reason the Celtics have Sam Hauser, Baylor Shireman. Who else they got? What other white guy they have shooting? Luka Garza. Well, what is that it? Is that all that? Bro, it's crazy. And you know what? Credit where credit is due to Sam Merrill. That little dude is strong, bro. He is strong. Yeah, Peyton Pritchard. Why am I forgetting quick PP? My bad. Yeah, that's illegal, bro. Four white guys that can shoot threes. That's illegal. That's illegal. And these guys have 3. That shouldn't be allowed. Should not be allowed whatsoever. Sam Merrill's strong, bro. Have y'all watched Sam Merrill? That dude is out there holding guys. He is strong. He is a good player. I love watching Sam Merrill hoop. I love watching it. Yeah, man, the Cavs are giving me a lot of false confidence, y'all. They're giving me a lot of false confidence. Watching this team play right now, I don't know, man. I don't know. Is it against the Raptors or are they just like that? Is James Harden going to win his first ring? Probably not, but let's, for the entertainment factor, let's pretend like I don't know, man. The Cavs are looking good. Let's be like every other basic ESPN SportsCenter guy. I think the Cavs have a real shot at winning it all because they're beating the Toronto Raptors. Raptors fans, stay up, man. Y'all need a center. Y'all need a point guard. Stay up. Hopefully, y'all can get some work done this summer because unfortunately, you guys are probably the worst playoff team that made it this year. Probably. I mean, the Pistons are horrible. The Suns look horrible in comparison to the Thunder. Yeah, I think you guys are probably the worst team that made the playoffs this time, unfortunately. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Shout out Cavs, bro. Shout out the Cavs. They played really well, man. They played really, really well. And I'm really excited for tonight's games. Before I give you my stud of the night, because there's a lot of candidates. Let's go over the games that we have tonight, all right? So tonight we have the Trailblazers Spurs at 8 o'clock. We have the 76ers versus Celtics at 7 o'clock. And we have the Rockets versus Lakers at 10. Gotta be honest, I'm probably falling asleep before that game even starts. You know what? Yeah, the 76ers aren't good either. Let's go over my predictions, I guess. I don't know what the odds are on these games. I think I gotta open up on like FanDuel or some shit to see. Oh, you know what? Here, I can check right here. Let's go ahead and check out the odds, and I'll let y'all know what I believe on each of these games. So the Celtics are favored by 15.5 points. Holy shit. Okay. Well, 15.5, huh? I like that line, bro. I like that line. I think the 76ers will lose under 15. I like that line. I don't think the Celtics are going to win another game more than 15. I think Maxi's going to drop 40 because that's the only chance they have. I think Maxi's going to drop 40. Paul George is going to drop a smooth 22. And the Sixers are going to lose by 12. That's my guess. All right? So, yeah, I have the Celtics winning. The next game, the Trailblazers versus the Spurs. The Spurs are favored by 12.5. I think that's a pretty good line, bro. The Blazers kept it close until the end. They lost by 13. Ugh, I like this line, bro. I think I'm going to go the over. I'm going to go the over. I think the Spurs are going to win by more than 12.5 points. That's just my opinion. If you guys are looking at what I'm saying and going to bet money on it, I don't gamble. Okay, and it looks like the Rockets are favored to win by 3.5 against the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm assuming that means Kevin Durant is back then. Correct me if I'm assuming that means Kevin Durant is back. If Kevin Durant is back, then yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, and I think the Rockets will get it done. If he's not back, then yeah, the Lakers are going to win. But if he is back, like, what's funny about the series, chat? The Rockets already have arguably the worst half-court offense in the NBA with Kevin Durant. Without Kevin Durant, their half-court offense, bro, I didn't think it can get worse, but it was worse. It's crazy. It was worse. It was worse. And those are the games from those are the games from tonight. Those are the games from last night. Let's go ahead and I'll give y'all. Yeah, that's a tough half-court offense. Whose is worse? Raptors, Rockets. I'll throw the Pistons in there too. Let's go over my stud of the night. Guys, there were a lot of good games last night. There were a lot of good players last night. From Murray still dropping 30, even though he sold in the end of the game, to Brunson, to Harden, to Mitchell. There were a lot of good games last night. But ladies and gentlemen, I am going to go. I think this is pretty obvious, right? I got to go with CJ McCollum, former Blazer, former Pelican, former Wizard, current Atlanta Hawk. CJ McCollum, last night's line, 35 minutes. He had 32 points. Should have been 34, but he missed 2 clutch free throws at the end of the game. 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 12 for 22 from the field, 3 for 10 from the three-point line. And you know what? I forgot to say this. I'm going to say it now because I don't want to forget like anything when I talk about these games. Nickeil Alexander-Walker had a horrible game offensively, but watching this cat on offense, on defense, it was crazy. It was crazy. He had like basically the game-sealing strip on Jalen Brunson. Nickeil, as bad as his offense was, defensively, he didn't skip a beat. Did not skip a beat. Played incredible. So my stud of the night is definitely CJ McCollum, and I hope you guys agree. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's going to do it for today's episode. We got, 50 minutes, and that was just 3 games. Do you guys see why I'm not doing any fun segments at the end of these shows, like Factor Cap or What You Got or any of those right now, true or false? Do you guys see why I'm not doing them? These episodes are so long, just talking about 3 playoff games. I think we'll start bringing those back for the second round because 2 games isn't going to take as long to break down. But yeah, I think for the second round series, we're going to be talking about more of the like additional segments. So like, you know how we have an A block and a B block? These shows are somewhat all A blocks. You know what I mean? It's all one thing. Podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. TikTok chat, guys, do me a massive favor. Come through to the Twitch stream. That's JZ Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. It's a much better experience over here. We got a couple guys in here that are watching from the Twitch that came in today. We are on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. So be sure to type in !podcast on the Twitch stream. There's no way of you finding the link in the TikTok, so be sure to come to the Twitch and get the links. Join the Discord, join the Twitch stream. We'd love to have y'all come through. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow morning for our daily episode tomorrow. Remember, it's Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, all right? 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Twitch chat, don't go anywhere. And remember, if you guys do want to talk with me more about personal topics and not just during the show, I do go live on Twitch 30 minutes before the podcast. So I do go live on Twitch at 8:30 a.m. Eastern to just chat and hang out with my community. And then at 9 a.m. Eastern, we talk and we start the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I got nothing left to say except for Twitch chat. Stick around. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching / listening. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Have a blessed day, everybody.